Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us as I look and sit across the table from the wonderful people from our Lions Club, that handsome smiling face of our employee, a colleague, and a good Lions member, DJ Lynn. Well, we've got a chance to tell you about the upcoming Benzorama, so please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email Talk Today at candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow,
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. And thanks again for supporting the continued efforts of our service clubs, in particular our Lions. And in the studio, Lion Letitia and Lion Lynn joins us. And, you know, the annual Benzorama not only is it a great time for some food, fun, and fellowship, an opportunity to win, well, as the name says, Benz, but it's something that I think helps us to appreciate how, as a community, what we do can be so impactful with all the projects. So, as I shared at the outset, you know, sit here, boy, and I see DJ Lynn in the studio, you know, you get caught up. But Lion Letitia, I hope you don't mind. You know, you sit next to him, you glow so easily and so radiantly. So good afternoon to you.
Hey, good afternoon, Sterling. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Sterling. Thank you, and good afternoon, Cayman.
It's remarkable to see how many of us are so supportive, so charitable. But on the other side, to get the occasion to watch not just the level of commitment and, you know, sort of volunteerism that you as Lions members portray, whether it's on weekends or in the evenings, whether it's selling tickets or doing community projects. You know, you have your lives, your families, your businesses, your work, you have other things, but yet you find time to be so dedicated to be part of the community. For you, Lion Letitia, it must be rewarding as well, huh?
It is extremely rewarding, and that's one of the great things about being a member of the Lions Club. We're a very hands-on project type of club. We're not just about writing checks or those sorts of things. We're actually about doing projects in the community, and that's one of the reasons I love being in the club so much.
Well, DJ Lynn, you get a chance to, you know, be hands-on, do something, whether it's, you know, as the sort of Benzorama initially kicked off. Maybe the primary beneficiary initially was the Lions Pool, and to today to see so much more.
Yes, quite amazing to see all the different projects and stuff that the Lions are able to take on. So being a part of Benzorama, and this is a great way to be able to assist our community projects in many various ways, which we'll be talking about as well.
All right. Well, let's share with us, please. I mean, the Benzorama, when is it coming up? Can we still get tickets? Letitia?
Absolutely. Tickets are readily available right up until the draw date, which will be June 1st. And this year we're raffling a 2019 brand new Mercedes-Benz CLA. The drawing will be on June 1st at the Mango Tree, and the car is valued at $51,500. Who wouldn't want that for $25 for a $25 ticket?
Susan, you pay the insurance? I'll take it. All right, so there we go. There's a deal. Wow, and 2019. No, does it come with a chauffeur? just check it. So we can still get tickets for any Lions member.
Yeah, you can check any of the Lions members, except for me, because all of my tickets are sold out. I had 15.
He's a great salesperson.
I had 15 books, and they're all sold out. I'm trying to get more. Also, we have ticket locations such as Funky Tangs. You can also pick up some from South Coast Bar and Grill, Reflections, Food for Less, West Bay Road Esso. also, you can purchase tickets this year now online at eventpro.ky. So for you people that want to go pick your numbers online, you just log on to the website, eventpro.ky, look for Benzorama, and then you're able to purchase your tickets online. You pick your own number there as well.
All right. So not only are there very convenient ways to get tickets, but if I look at the calendar, not much time left.
Not a lot of time left, no.
June the 1st.
June 1st.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Wow. Well, that's good. And I'm glad to see the community continues to be so supportive of the Lions in this instance with the Benzorama. Not only a brand new Benz. Wow, with a chauffeur.
Yeah, just to remind everyone, tickets are just $25 each, or if you buy 5 for $100. So basically, buy 4, you get 1 free. And once again, the funds go towards supporting community projects. So everyone wins.
Exactly. That's the thing. You win if you win the car. If you don't win the car, whether
win
you
by
bought
supporting community.
Exactly.
Yes,
absolutely. 1 ticket you bought, $1,000 worth of tickets, whatever the case is, it goes well, and it's good to see support.
Like what I say, if you got a ticket, you got a chance. If you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
I don't really came on.
Yeah. So make sure you have at least 1 ticket. More the merrier, of course. The more tickets you have, the greater chances of you to win. But make sure you have at least 1.
All right, perfect. Well, tell us more, as you want to share, because certainly we want to get tickets, but as you wish, share with us about the event, about the Lions, as you wish.
Yes, as you mentioned, we don't have a lot of time. We only have a few weeks left. And in addition to the locations that Lynn mentioned that you can purchase a ticket, we're also very active on the ground in being at various locations on the weekends. So you'll find us at Foster's Food Fair, Kirk Supermarket, Hurley's, Barcam on most weekends, selling tickets as well. So you can get them then over the next couple of weekends. And we will also want to thank those establishments for allowing us to come out to the locations. But Lions has been around in the community for 47 years now. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman. We're celebrating our 47th year of serving the community. Benzorama is our most significant fundraiser for the year, and from the funds that we collect from Benzorama, we're able to do the very many service projects that we do on an annual basis.
That's the thing. We have the physical hands, but sometimes you need a little bit of funds as well to go along, and everybody's little contribution can really mean a lot at the end of the day.
Yeah. Right. I'd just like to take a quick second to say thanks to the Rotary Central Cayman, who invited us last night to attend one of their meetings to talk about the Benzorama, and we were able to sell 45 tickets to their members. So special thanks to President William Innes and Mr. Carl Brown for inviting us. And basically, it's 2 different organizations, but all in the same business of supporting the community. So I'm glad we were able to go speak with them and reach out to their followers.
We all have the same goal at the end of the day.
Complementary, not competing. I remember when Lions and Rotary did a team up on, I think it was a fishing tournament some years back. So it just shows that, different service clubs, but same objective of serving the community.
And working together, yes.
That's commendable. It shows how we can, 2 hands to clap, they say. Wow, mess with them. All right, so for the Benzorama, the evening itself is going to be music, some fun. Hopefully the person is present or not, but if you win the ticket is drawn and you're not there, the car's still yours.
Absolutely. We will be selling tickets right up until around 11:30 that evening, and that's when we'll do the draw. And whether the winner is there or not, we will be calling him or her. And if we don't get them the first time, we're going to keep calling, but it does not go to someone else. Yeah. Whatever ticket we draw, that is the winner for the Benzorama, for the Benz.
Yep. Well, the winner this year will be the person that bought a ticket, the one.
Absolutely.
That much I know. As we look at it, though, for those who are seeing it, there have been countless projects over the years, and some notable ones as we shared in the pool, but also the Lions Eye Clinic. And the different initiatives that you have, from the Christmas, sort of parties and gifts for our students, but so much more. Right, DJ?
Yep. Like I said, this goes towards supporting various projects, including the Lions Eye Clinic, also the Pines Retirement Home, and various restoration community projects. Just last week, the Lions were out fixing up a ramp for a lady in West Bay who needed wheelchair access to her place. So, like I said, every week, every month, we're doing different projects, and funds that are received from Ben's Rama, such as go towards helping these kind of projects take place.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see that. I think those who are, I can think back to some of my friends who have tried to say, you should come and join, but I said, you got to be handsome and helpful, and I'm not quite sure I qualify, but
it helps, but
you
it's
got
not a
handsome
requirement.
part done.
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
You got a handsome part sorted out, so.
But I say that because they're, whether they're Lions for the last couple of years or they've been last, 15, 20 years, it seems they've been there for life. As they join, they enjoy it and they contribute.
Absolutely.
That's amazing, man. Well, I'm hopeful that as we get closer to the time that you wish to share, but looking at what else would you want us to know about it and make sure we get our tickets?
No, just again, as Lion Lynn mentioned, I just want to mention some of the other projects that we do as well for the public's information. Site screening is something that we do across the island, all schools in the island, all school-age kids. We do on an annual basis site screening. We also have a community food pantry, which we use to provide goods, items, miscellaneous toiletries, those sorts of things to members of the public in need. We work very closely with the Department of Children and Family Services in providing food items and those sorts of things to persons who need them on a periodic basis. We provide diabetes awareness. We support the Cayman Brac and the Grand Cayman swim meets, which most kids on the island who are active swimmers would go through those programs. We sponsor the Spelling Bee, Miss Teen, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters as well. So there's quite a wide variety of projects, and sometimes people only see one or two of those projects that we're active in, but it crosses the breadth of community service, the types of projects that we're in.
That's the thing, as you share that, we're looking at athletics, we've seen academics, we've seen the community, we've seen the young, the elderly, we see all between, and it really does cut across all divides within all sectors of our community.
Absolutely.
Something for everybody. Commendable. I can see the reward. I can see why you put so much into it, because you can see the benefit.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm hopeful that we will get all the tickets sold, and I wish I could buy more. No.
Well, if you can buy more, you're happy from Lion Letitia. Like I said, my tickets are sold out. So
we're going to get him some more tickets.
Yeah, we're trying to get some more tickets.
He's an effective salesman. It isn't just because it's probably an easy sell relative to not only the wonderful prize, but we know the beneficial impact to the community.
Right.
Yes.
But I mean, he just comes in disarmingly smiles with you and say, support.
Yeah, you see what, you have to disarm them a little bit. And then once they realize that it's going towards the Lions, it's like, okay, that's fine.
People jump right on it.
People kind of jump right on it.
Yeah.
Then it's like once you got to peel back the layers, because when you first approach people, they kind of be like, nah, I don't want to, or it's not coming up soon enough or whatever. But the best thing to do is inform people so that they might even be ready for a ticket at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the next time they see someone, they'll be like, okay, all right, now I'm ready to purchase a ticket. So that's why we're here today. Maybe there's not someone who hasn't gotten a ticket yet that has been thinking about it. I just want to remind you that tickets are only $25 each. If you buy 4, you get 1 free. So 5 tickets for $100. You can win a brand new 2019 Mercedes-Benz. The drawing takes place again at the Mango Tree on Saturday, June 1st. And what else we got here? Of course, everything proceeds aid the community club projects as well. And just, like I said, just look at it as you contributing. This is your contribution to the community. And if you're lucky, then you can drive off in a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah. Person who wins may be the first ticket that was purchased, maybe the last ticket that was sold, or anytime in between.
And anything in between. Yeah. We've seen it all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the little superstitions that people have when you're selling them tickets, right? So it's like last night there was a lady who's like, oh, this lady scratched off a ticket. So she said, well, that might be her loss and my gain. So she took that ticket because, it was scratched off. Then there's other people like, I was born this year, or I was married on such and such a date. So that's one of the things I love when interaction with people when you're selling tickets. Like everybody has a story. And so, yeah.
Mine was easy. Here's my money. Just give me tickets. If it's mine, it's mine.
There you go.
Maybe that's the problem. When I buy these things, I never buy with expectation of winning.
Mm-hmm. You might have to have a strategy. You might have to change that strategy. Yes.
Yeah? Okay. We'll see how that goes. But I'm glad for those people who buy wanting to support but also want to win. And then those who just buy because they understand. It may not be a whole lot, but it's the amount that they have that they can afford.
Right.
But they're doing it because it knows it's going to mean a whole lot. when pooled together. So.
Absolutely. And when we're out selling tickets, there may be some people who aren't able to do the $25, but they'll give us $1 or $2.
Yep.
And we gladly accept it because, like I said, every little bit helps. All goes into the same pot, and it helps us to help the community.
Yeah. And just so you clarify, Susan reminded me, you give $1, but the tickets are $25, or $100 get you $5. So what's it at $20?
We'll take the donations, but the tickets are still $25 each. Yes.
No, that was very clear. But it's good, as you shared, that there are people who may, for whatever reason, can't afford it at that point in time, whatever reason. May say, but here's $10, here's $5, here's $20 even, but I don't want a ticket or whichever. And they still contribute because they understand what it means, And I commend you for it. Being part of an organization that is service oriented takes a lot out of the individual, out of their pockets, out of their hands and the like. So for whatever little it is, thanks. At least I've seen the benefit, and it's been very meaningful for our community. So June 1st,
Mango Tree. We'll be there all day. We will also be at all of the various supermarket locations on that date as well. If for those people, there are many people who like to wait until the very last day, which is fine with us. And if you want to buy earlier, we'll be around. If you want to buy on June 1st, we'll be around all that day as well.
Yeah, but the day after is too late. That much I know as well. And the final thoughts, Mr. Lynn, do you want to share with us?
No, just as soon as I get tickets, people can come here to Radio Cayman and purchase them here as well. Once again, if you want to purchase tickets online, you can go to eventpro.ky. And also other locations. Funky Tangs is a convenient place for people to stop by. South Coast Bar and Grill, Reflections Food for Less, and West Bay Road SO.
All right. Well, thanks very much. And whether in person or a phone call between now and June 1st, if you need us to help remind people or you want to make an appeal announcement, let DJ Lynn know. He has access to the mics of our No, but seriously, thank you all very much. And to all the service clubs who do and contribute, that partnership last night with Road Central and you guys just shows how we can really mean a lot if we work together.
Yep.
Yes, and also want to thank Radio Cayman for their support of Benzarama, not just this year, in support of the Lions Club, not just this year, but for many years prior.
Well, you know what? We do so gladly and we can see the impact, so we're happy to do so. You guys enjoy your week. It's Wednesday, they told me?
Yep. All
right, well, that means that yesterday must have been Tuesday. I didn't realize that. All right. But enjoy your weekend. Again, a very, resounding, successful Benzarama. And congrats to that winner.
Thank you, Dwayne.
All right. We'll pause and take a break. When we come back, please join us. 1:30, we're hoping to give you something about weather. Well, you want to know what that is? You have to stay tuned.
In a brand new 2019 all-white Mercedes-Benz CLA 250. On Saturday, June 1st at Mango Tree, you could be that lucky person. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents its annual charity fundraising event, Benzarama 2019. That's right, one lucky winner will be announced at the Mango Tree on Saturday, June 1st, and that lucky winner could be you.
If you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
Tickets are $25 each, or 5 tickets for only $100. Proceeds from the funds raised go towards various Lions community projects. Tickets can be purchased online at eventpro.ky, or stop by one of our ticket outlets, including Radio Cayman Studios, Funky Tangs, South Coast Bar, Reflections Food for Less, and West Bay Road SO, or can be purchased from any of our active Lions community members. Benzarama 2019. We are all winners once you support the Lions and our community.
Why my wife always asking if I'm in a rush when she's the one always making us late?
Might as well say, yeah, I'm in a rush and go buy the new Toyota Rush you've been talking about, because they on sale this month. Doll teacher.
The super special spring SUV sale at Vant Motors. Save up to $4,400 with SUVs starting at only $23,500, like the 7-seater Toyota Rush. Save money, get cash back, or use the discount to upgrade features on the SUV of your choice, including the Toyota RAV4, the Fortuner, the Rush, or the Ford EcoSport. It's our super special spring SUV sale. Only at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
Real estate agents and developers, as well as dealers in precious metals and stones, have until Wednesday, May 29th to register with the Department of Commerce and Investment. The DCI is the agency with responsibility for ensuring real estate agents and developers, as well as dealers in precious metals and stones, are compliant with international obligations relating to anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism. DCI urges businesses to register as soon as possible to avoid missing the deadline on May 29th. Registration forms are available from www.dci.gov. enforcement.dci.gov.ky or the DCI counter at the Government Administration Building. For further details, please contact enforcement@dci.gov.ky.
Keeping cool in Cayman is essential, but can be costly. Making small adjustments to your household can lead to big savings and help protect the environment. Keep your blinds, curtains, doors, and windows closed when it's hot outside. Using a fan instead of AC will use less power and can cost a mere third of air conditioning. And when using a fan, rotate it anti-clockwise, which will blow the cool air downward, saving even more energy and money. Visit the Ministry of Commerce, Planning, and Infrastructure Facebook page for more tips on alternatives to AC and be an energy advocate.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks so much for joining us. And as we invite you to be a part of our discussion from the Family Resource Center, Ms. Raquel Doheny joins us. And I must share, I keep looking at this community and I keep thinking of sometimes I get invited, to go and be a part of something. I get sort of invited to observe something. Sometimes you just find out things, oh, by the way. And whether it's an educational initiative, whether it's part of a school program, and whether it's a service project or just something that is unfolding through an NGO or the like, there are a lot of great things and great people involved in helping to impact. What I think, though, Ms. Raquel, of the Family Resource Center and the many different programs, workshops, the things that you facilitate, I don't know if there's enough days in the year, but you seem to make it work. So good afternoon to you. All right.
Good afternoon.
How's everything to you? All right. Now, what's that commercial? Come a little closer. Put that mic close to you, or you get close to the mic.
Yeah,
pretend that is, your debut at, whether you prefer the Grand Ole Opry or you rather be on Motown.
It's my first time on the radio today, Dwayne. So
is it first time today?
First time today.
We feel honored here at Radio Cayman to have you for your first time today. Because you're in the media all the time. You're in the media all the time.
All the time.
I think the only person in the media more than you is some president of some country.
Right?
No, man. But it's you never get used to it. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Working on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you're the Family Resource Center. They put you as the face in the place.
Oh goodness.
If I may ask, for those who don't know, how is the new I can still call it the new location?
Our new location, yeah, that's a great place to start. So we are in, and it's now been labeled the Apollo House. So Apollo House is on Mary Street. And so the physical address would be 87 Mary Street. Most people are familiar with this building as Walker's previous location. So yes, that's where we are on the second floor.
Wow.
Apollo House West.
Apollo House, And I was tempted at first, I was saying about on stage at the Grand Ole Apollo Theatre, but I didn't want to say anything just yet.
It's a new name. name. We're excited that it has a name because now it's easier to give directions. So when you come down Mary Street, blue and white building, Apollo House West.
I might even tell people, if you like boxing, you think of Rocky, Apollo, Creed, Apollo, you just whatever Apollo Theatre, you just keep thinking of what they say. You must find little things that help you to remember places, right?
There we go.
All right. So the new location is working out. It's very convenient and very accessible to me. You could almost walk here if you wanted.
If I wanted to, yeah. I'm not going to say whether I did or didn't
No,
today.
We won't ask you if you did or you didn't. But we could surmise based on everything else we've seen that she probably was chauffeured. No, that's a discussion for another time where I may ask some of my friends to join me. But,
indeed.
No, seriously, it is remarkable. But you do have more space to do much more of the programming.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have more group rooms now, and so we're able to facilitate multiple programs at the same time. I think before we did have to schedule them, and so the rotation wasn't happening as often. So now you'll see that we have a lot going on, a lot of it starting very soon. And, a good mix. I think it's a good mix. We're targeting different demographics and a lot of different groups that are suitable for any and everyone going on at the moment. So lots of exciting stuff to look forward to.
All right. Well, with that, then maybe get the public sort of, about their appetites. as it were.
Absolutely.
Some of the many programs. And
there we go.
All right.
So the first one that we have coming up actually starts tomorrow, but don't let that deter you. There's still room to register for that one. And that's going to be the Parenting Ages and Stages workshop. It will run for 6 weeks, but we will have 2 additional bonus sessions. So some important topics that we felt would also be important to include. And those will be optional, but there'll be 6 basic mandatory sessions. So it'll be every Thursday. It's a lunchtime group from 12 to 1. And that will begin tomorrow. So it's geared towards parents who are parenting children between the ages of 6 and 9. And what it looks like at everything. It looks at what is age-appropriate development, what is age-appropriate behavior. It looks at some of the things that they're experiencing now in terms of potential bullying and, being in the digital age. It looks at how to parent and discipline a child of that age more effectively. And I think what's different about this program is now we've scaled it down just to a specific age group because, discipline will be different and the experiences and the developmental stages will be different across the different age groups. And so I think it's going to be great for parents to be able to really focus and hone in on this is the age of my child, what's going on, and for some affirmation as well, as in, that now makes sense. I've been noticing these things and now I understand why. So, yeah. Yeah,
that's an interesting age too because the child probably, if the child has started school, preschool, it's now... I call it primary 1, but getting into that time. And then just before middle school, as it were, almost. So that very interesting age.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it'll be that big transition into primary school before they go into high school. So those primary years, those formative years, because what happens now is they've gotten a grasp and an understanding of who they are, things around them, people around them, how different things affects them. And so the older that they get, or in this age group, they're starting to have a better understanding of things. They're able to make not good decisions, but decisions in general, and think about how those choices not only affects them, but affects other people around them. And this is the age where that starts to make sense because when they're younger, they don't quite understand how their choices affect other people or sometimes even affect themselves. Right. And so this is the age where that happens. So a lot of the teaching of skills, a lot of the teaching of values, all these things happen in this age group. So, yeah, this will be a good one.
And sometimes, too, I think we think of the external things. So maybe it's the media, the child is exposed to whether a video game or something online, Yeah. But how much of that same behavior is happening here? We're seeing reported instances, for instance, of right here in our communities where people are getting into fights in early age and videoing and posting them.
And videoing and posting, absolutely.
That's still shocking to me. I can't believe that sort of behavior is happening here.
And that's only one element of it. And we've definitely noticed that parents are constantly asking the questions around, oh my gosh, what do I do about my child being overindulged in, the devices? And so we've also generated a workshop. This will be a pilot workshop because it's a new one for us called Digitally Distracted, Parenting in the Age of Technology. So we're hoping to do that one in June, every Tuesday, another lunchtime group, 12 to 1, all the Tuesdays in June. And that will specifically look at how do you parent a child in the current technology age? So talking about spending long hours on devices, talking about having that interaction across social mediums. How do we start to monitor and track and put time frames and different things on those devices?
Yeah, I think it speaks to a couple of things. So the parents themselves are digitally distracted. Yeah. They themselves are consumed with their own lives, their works, their careers, their obligations. Yeah. But some of the parents...
The thing about it is, though, parents are engaged as well, and they're modeling that behavior for children. For example, when they're engaged at the dinner table, what it teaches children is that it's okay to be engaged at the dinner table and different things like that. But parents are engaged on devices for things of their own interest. Very seldom do we find parents actually being tech-wise according to what the children are involved in. Yeah. So very rarely do we understand the games that they're playing or the shows that they're watching. And this workshop is also going to look at how do we gain an understanding and also engage with our children in their world. Right. Because it's important to be wise about what they're exploring, because we want to understand, is it safe?
Is it safe? Do we understand their lingo?
Yeah,
absolutely. There are words that I hear children use it that have a different connotation.
Yeah.
We're not talking profanity. We're not talking things that are offensive. It's just that this word in this generation has a whole complete...
And there's a lot of acronyms now, like these little laugh out loud and BRB and all these different things.
Those are the easy ones.
Yeah, those are the easy ones, exactly. And that's why I was using those as the examples.
I thought you were doing for my benefit. Thank you very much. No, but it's also too that the parents as a whole may not fully appreciate how to leverage the technology. For instance, just today's so Monday, a friend said, listen, and he's an astute individual. They've created a new sort of, I don't know what you would call it, hub in the house. And he was able to say, listen, between this hour and this hour, we're going to limit the bandwidth, the access time, whatever, because as a family, we're not even spending time as much as we want to. So even with a conscious effort, everybody's being distracted. The machine, the thing is dinging, it's doing this. You have to be conscious about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So setting limits. Some of us might not be as tech savvy to be able to limit bandwidth, but we all know about parental guidances, physically taking away the device or the charger for the device. Like, we've got to get creative and think outside the box of how we're going to manage these things. But then I think it's also important to teach the children the skills to be able to make good decisions. So, hey, when you hear the timer go off, that means your time is up, and I'm going to need you to put it away and come to the dinner table or to go have your shower or whatever. Like, we also need to teach the skill of, this is the responsibility, this is your time allotment, and if you don't, end whatever you're doing at this stage, then the consequence is that you might not get to use it tomorrow or later or whatever else. Like, we've also got to put things in place where learning can happen.
And I think as adults, we will lead by example.
Yeah,
we got to do. Well, I appreciate it. Well, share with us, because I think these workshops, unfortunately, for some of us, we probably couldn't foresee that we would be needing to hone these skills.
Yeah.
But they are valuable, and we need to be able to put them to use. Our toolkit, right? All right. Ms. Susan, we have to take a break, or we can keep going? Oh, she says you can keep going, but
we can keep going.
Yeah, she's got to take a break. Let me come back. All right. Ms. Raquel will remain with us. We'll tell you more about their workshops and their programming over at the Family Resource Center. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
At Flow, we know that 4 are better than 1. Introducing Flow Quad Play. Packed with the fastest, most reliable broadband, the power and control of Flow Evo TV, Cayman's best mobile experience, and tons of home phone minutes, all in one convenient package from only $199 a month. With 4 plans to choose from, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. It's value, ease, and convenience all on one bill with Cayman's #1 network. Find out why 4 are better than 1 with Flow Quad Play at discoverflow.ky. Terms and conditions apply.
Support our port, support our tourism.
Did you know the Port Authority will continue to operate the cargo port and berthing facility when the piers are built? Cruise Line Finance secures berthing rights, not ownership, and will be repaid over time with fees paid by passengers.
Looking forward, looking bright.
Learn more and spread the word.
Support our port, support our tourism.
Money Sense, bringing an informed financial perspective to the Cayman community. Brought to you by the CFA Society Cayman Islands and sponsored by One Trade X. Join Money Sense Thursday at 7:30 a.m. and email your questions to moneysense at Candiwaki. That's money, SENSE at CANDW.KY. Money Sense, the only personal finance radio show in the Cayman Islands. Brought to you with the support of One Trade X.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today. Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today in the studio from the Family Resource Center. Ms. Raquel Doheny joins us. And, as we talk about the different workshops and programming that you offer for the general public who want to maybe find out more, who may want to be a part of some of the programming, what do we do?
Okay, so we've increased the ways that you could access us. So a lot of persons are in social media. So our Facebook page, Family Resource Center. Definitely give us a call, 949-0006. Shoot us an email at frc@gov.ky. But our website, we've got a new website up and running. It's really great, and you can actually register for programs online. So if you were to go on the website and read up on some of our programs or start to explore what we offer, and you see, hey, that's interesting, you can actually just click on a button, Google form, fill it out, and you're registered for that program or workshop. Or at least we now get the basic information to contact you to offer an appointment. So our website, frc.gov.ky. Take a look on there, see what we have to offer, and register for something online.
All right. Well, as you were sharing earlier, some of the different programming and whether we walk in, is that still allowed to come into the courses?
Yes, we still have walk-in services, and so our walk-in services are typically for intakes. When you walk in, you come to get registered to be a part of our programs or services. And so our walk-in services, we have 2 intake officers that you would be able to meet with. And our walk-in times are Monday to Friday from 9 to 12, or Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 7, or Wednesday from 9 to 5. So pretty much right out throughout the day, except for Monday and Friday, which are half days. You can come in and register for any of our programs or services, because we also offer some individual services.
But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you go until what, 7
It goes
p.m.?
on till 7, yeah. So it's convenient for those who may not be able to take the time out during the day to come over on a Tuesday and Thursday. You can definitely come in until 7 to have your intake done.
All right, well, Mermiston, the Apollo House, as we call it. Not Apollo Theatre yet.
Apollo House East. Apollo House West.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So other programming and sort of workshops that you may want to highlight for us.
Yeah. So sometimes some persons are wanting to sort of just get a feel for what we do. Sometimes it's just one subject matter that we might want some more information around. So like, for example, 2 weeks ago, we had done one on the link between nutrition and behavior. Mm-hmm. There's no need to register for what we call our one-off FSS sessions. They happen every month, once a month, every month. And so the next one that we have coming up is Talk Early, Talk Often, and that's going to be how to talk to your children about sex. And we're not talking about sitting the 16-year-old down on the couch and having a big serious conversation. We're actually talking about starting that conversation way earlier, so that children understand their body parts, how to keep them safe, what is normal, what is not normal, what is expected, who are their trusted adults. It definitely starts to explore as parents, because it can be an uncomfortable subject. But what happens is, if it's uncomfortable for the adult, or if you seem uncomfortable, then the child will be uncomfortable. So this will sort of give you the language, talking tips, so that you can start the conversation and feel comfortable about starting the conversation, so that the child feels comfortable. And that's going to be really important for it to be effective.
And we're told that, if you make the conversation as factual, or make it factual, use the correct terminology,
use the correct terms,
talk about anatomy in a proper way.
Small, frequent, age-appropriate conversation. Yeah. So it's not about sitting down a 5-year-old and telling them where babies come from. We need to start getting them to understand their body, understand safety, understand boundaries. When they get a little bit older, we add to that. And as they get older, then when we get to teenagers, they kind of have all the information that they need without it being this one big uncomfortable conversation. That might very well be too late. Yeah.
It's, as you shared, if it's uncomfortable for the parent, the adult, chances are the child is going to pick up on that quite easily, and the conversation is going to become awkward. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be if we have the information.
Absolutely.
So talk early, talk often.
Yeah, and that one is Wednesday the 22nd of May, so that'll be coming up. And it'll be from 6 to 7:30 in the evening.
So next week, Wednesday?
Next week, Wednesday.
So the holidays, Monday, Discovery Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we'll be back from some of us to go off island for the weekend.
Yeah, take a break and then come get some good information.
All right, so at Paula House West, huh?
Yeah.
All right, talk early, talk often.
There we go.
There you see. I always paid attention.
You're on
sometimes. All right, what else you want us to know?
Well, we have SNAP summer camp coming up.
SNAP,
and
that's the...
that is Stop Now and Plan. So we are actually really in need of volunteers. So if you are minimum age of 14, if you're patient, personable, understanding, keen to gain experience with children, and able to communicate effectively, then you might be a good fit for our SNAP camp as a helper or a volunteer. For most persons, we do require a background in either education, human services, but there are probably some other roles that we can get for some persons if you don't quite fit that criteria, but we definitely need some more hands on deck so that we can offer this great summer program for our 6 to 11-year-olds.
So it's going to be 6 to 11-year-olds.
6 to 11-year-olds.
What days? What's the time frame for that?
So the time frame for that will be July 2nd to July 5th, and it's an all-day camp. So it'll be from 8 in the morning, which would be drop-off time, until 5 in the evening, which is pick-up time. All volunteers will need to go through a screening and training process. So we definitely encourage them to get registered as soon as possible because our training starts next month, June, in preparation for July.
All right, so looking for volunteers who are at least what age is there?
Minimum age of 14.
Yeah, I could almost qualify.
Almost.
I thought you said 14, but I just had to make sure. No, so this, and we know that some students have an interest in this area,
Yes.
not just looking for community service as part of their graduation, but they may have an interest in, adolescent development, may have an interest in community service.
Yeah.
Good way to get facilitated. And there's those in college, and then there are those adults who genuinely.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the ones who are in college and are studying human services or education or any of those kinds of backgrounds, then they can gain some really good hands-on experience with SNAP Camp. Our SNAP students are a very interesting bunch. They're very energetic. They do require a lot of patience, and so it's important that whoever is coming on board is able to empathize with some of the difficulties that these children may have. It's a process where we're helping to give them the skills in order to regulate themselves. So it's more about the way that we view them. We have to understand that there might be a skill that's lacking, or they might just have a difficult time with a very specific situations. And that is what we're aiming to give them the skills to be able to navigate around and make better choices in a moment.
All right, so the camp, as you shared, is the 2nd through the 5th of July, but it's going from 8 in the morning till 5
in
p.m.
the evening. So it's all day.
All right, and it is, as you said, the whole notion of stopping, know and plan. Something we all could probably do.
We could all use the skills, and we apply the skills in different, environments and scenarios as well.
Well, Ms. Raka, it's always a pleasure to highlight the different programming over at the Family Resource Centre. Any closing thoughts you may want to share with us? Well,
yes. I think it's important for persons to understand that we serve the entire population. We serve them for free. I think sometimes there can be a stigma around accessing services. Like we said, there are sessions that you don't have to register for just to get a feel for it, or if one thing is specifically interesting for you. Once you get registered into a program, you can kind of transition into between programs and individual services. So we offer collaborative, proactive solutions where parents and children can, solve problems that are recurring together. We have our co-parenting workshop, which we're probably going to be starting in about 2 weeks on a Monday lunchtime as well. And that one is for parents who are separated and parenting children in the same home. We have our structured workshops like our positive discipline workshop, parenting agencies, just for those families who want to upskill. So there's a wide variety of services. Obviously, our SNAP is for younger boys and girls, which we do separately, and their families. So there's something for everyone. So we definitely encourage you to hop on our website and check us out. And see what might suit you.
All right, well, please let us know, because if our communities are able to, do things collectively to make sure that the wider society is safer, more engaged, we have a better community.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. Enjoy your week as well, Mom.
Wonderful, and thank you for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
All right.
So Family Resource Centre in its new location, we can still say it's new, right on the Mary Street. Going to pause and take a break. When we come back, more Talk Today.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
Local student Adam Barry has completed his articles of clerkship and is now an associate in the litigation team at Morant in the Cayman Islands. Mr. Barry was called to the Cayman Islands Bar on May 1st. His application was moved by Morant partner Simon Dixon before the Honorable Justice Richards at the Grand Court of the Cayman Islands. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, the U.S. State Department has ordered the departure of non-emergency employees from Iraq amid rising tensions between the U.S. and Iraq's neighbor, Iran. Staff at the embassy in Baghdad and the consulate in Erbil must leave as soon as possible on commercial transport. Meanwhile, the German and Dutch armies have suspended training Iraqi soldiers. Alabama has become the latest U.S. state to move to restrict abortions by passing a bill to outlaw the procedure in almost all cases. The law includes a ban on abortion in cases of rape or incest. Supporters say they expect the law to be blocked in court, but hope that the appeals process will bring it before the Supreme Court. And American Airlines pilots confronted Boeing about potential safety issues in its 737 MAX planes in a meeting last November. They urged swift action after the first deadly 737 MAX crashed off Indonesia in October. Boeing reportedly resisted their calls but promised a software fix. Currently, 737 MAX planes are grounded worldwide amid concerns that an anti-stall system may have contributed to both crashes. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Have you just completed a weekend cleanup project? Do you plan to dispose of old appliances, electronics, or even hazardous waste? Dispose of these items at the 24-hour drop-off site located at the entrance of the Georgetown landfill. This site is open to the public daily for your convenience. Do your part. Keep Cayman clean. For more tips on proper waste handling, visit the DEH website at www.deh.gov.ky.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
BritK protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
BritK, where people come first.
I support building the piers because the cruise industry puts millions of dollars into our economy each year. Without that revenue, young people like me risk facing an uncertain future. Learn more and spread the word.
Looking forward, looking bright. Support our port, support our tourism.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio as we get a chance to continue to focus on, I said Children's Month of the Child. It's May, and the day ending in Y is a good day, so I guess in a month ending in Y likewise. So from DCFS, we have the good company of colleagues Kai and Miss Tanisha. It is good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. And I like to see people who are so enthusiastic. Their smile, their energy just comes across. So good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you too, and thanks for having us.
It is genuinely, it is really a pleasure. And I mean, I look at your calendar of sort of activities for the month, and I'm still having reviews about the breakfast on Saturday. The students spoke not just eloquently, but so convincingly, so powerful. I mean, they were indeed bold, brave, and they were being themselves, right? So be bold, be brave, be strong.
Yes.
Ms. Kai, good afternoon. You kick us off, man. Share with us, please.
Good afternoon. And I'm Kai Matthews-Mott, social worker with the Department of Children and Family Services. And we would like to talk about our events that we will have continuing tomorrow, Thursday, May 16th, is a teen panel discussion. And that's usually a set of questions that the department will generate and ask students from all the high schools to prepare for those questions prior to the date of the actual event. So teen panel will be held at Georgetown Town Hall tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. And the moderator is from the Alex Ponton Foundation. Her name is Zoe Connolly Basdio. And students will be participating and responding to those questions in a discussion forum. And students will be taken from all the high schools, ages between 14 and 16 years old. And they'll be talking about questions or responding to questions surrounding the topic, navigating stress and anxiety during adolescence.
Navigating stress too. Wow. And we don't stop to think sometimes that they in fact are not just stressed because of the school work, not just stressed because of maybe parental expectations or maybe they participate in the things, but that's an interesting time, I should just put it nicely, in our development.
They have their own challenges that they experience as teens, as peers, and so it's good to hear from them so that we can formulate the relevant intervention needed for their issues.
And perhaps they'll get a chance to realize that, even though they're told repeatedly, you're not going through this alone. You're not the first to, feel this way. You start to eat certain foods and then you get a pimple in this crisis. Maybe that's small to what some have, but thank you for being able to facilitate this, and hopefully the adolescents will come along. Ms. Kanisha?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Tanisa Forsyth, social worker with Department of Children and Family Services. So I'm going to speak about the event that we're going to have this Friday, May 17th, which is the youth conference. That's going to be held at the Margaritaville. It starts at 8:30 a.m., finishes at 2. The keynote speaker for that conference is Mr. Kevron Reed. He is a youth elder at the Savannah Seventh-day Adventist Church. There'll also be other speakers, keynote speakers, who would do the breakout sessions with the youth. The session will address inspiring, respecting, and motivating kids, as well as how to network after leaving school. There are many more topics, but that's just a general idea of the main topics that will be discussed. This session or the conference will be open to public and private high schools, including the BRAC. Those participants have already been selected, so they would be attending on Friday for that event. There's also prizes and surprises and goodies for those participating at the conference. So it should be an event that's, enlightening for the youth.
Indeed. And when you think back to some of these, I don't want to say challenges, but just changes that are taking place within our own communities, not just what our children may be exposed to globally. Some of us, hopefully by now, would have recognized, if not all of us, that it is a global world. Our children are no longer confined to their classrooms or their schools. It's not just that they have this digital platform, but there's so much more to them. And it's not all good. It doesn't all have to be bad. But it's not all good, right?
And to add, the title for the youth conference is #IAM, followed by the child title, which is Be Strong, Be Brave, Be You. So it's really empowering to let them know I am, and then, they say what they feel they are.
I wonder what Ms. Kai would say if she was a youth, as youthful as she looks.
I am
brave. Well, I know, Ms. Tanisha, strong and brave, right?
Yeah, definitely. Strong, confident, brave, yeah.
Susan probably say, I am you. No, but it's important to love the children, to understand that they're in a nurtured, safe, loving place, that they are able to be themselves, that there is certainly expectations, but there should be no sort of boundaries to their abilities, their, sort of opportunities ahead of them. Sometimes we impose, within our own minds, limitations that, I can't get an A, or I can't get accepted this, or I can't be, without even recognizing how that's affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. Challenges of another.
So on Saturday the 18th of May, the department will have a family fun day at Turtle Center, and that's the only event that there is a small fee attached to it. So $10 for adults and $4 for children, and this will be held between the hours of 11 and 3 p.m. The good thing about this event is that everybody's expected to come out. So family event, come with your children, mommy, daddy, grandparents, everybody. Come and have a good time, because persons coming will have full access to the park. So it's a very good day to have a good time and spend some quality time with your family. So I think this is a very good event because it's a family event.
It is a beautiful place. I mean, that's a very nice setting, Not just to slide, but just to relax, to enjoy some of the food. I say that, and even though I probably have, tickets and passes that I bought long ago, never used, but it is a nice little spot, man. It really is. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, so that's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
And Monday is a holiday, so it'll be good. 11 until 3?
Yeah. 11 until 3.
All right. Well, you know what? Still, no, I won't say that. Still, 11 until 3. That's enough time to be in the sun. Wear your sunscreen. Protect yourself. Get a good wide brim hat. But equally, I mean, Saturday there are other activities going on as well. So you're going to want to leave, get home in time and change and do your hair. I mean, that takes me a while. And then they get back. Was it another event in the evening?
Yeah, also on Saturday, there's the Talent Expo that will be held at the Hartwell Theatre from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Individuals have been pre-selected, and they will display their talents in the form of song, dance, poetry, and playing whatever musical instrument that they're good at. As I said, it'll be at the Hartwell Theatre. Admission is free, so it's an event that you can come, sit down, enjoy, and refreshments will be on sale for a small fee as well.
All right, so just a full day of activity, showcasing, highlighting, whether we start as a family and enjoy the entertainment, or come back in the evening and show the talent.
Yes,
there you go.
Wow, well, and this is only, about halfway through the month, and we still got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So on Sunday, May 19th, there is the Intergenerational Cook-Off, and that will be held at Cayman Academy between the hours of 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And this is an event where children between the ages of 8 and 11 will be taught how to prepare Caymanian dishes. And there will be local Caymanian guest cooks there to share their secrets in terms of preparing that very good, tasty
it's only lunchtime though. I'm taking some foods right now.
There's a pre-registration form though, so persons can make contact with Cassandra Ferron at our department at 949-0290 to obtain the registration forms. Some have already been sent out to various schools and individuals who are actually interested in participating in this event.
And it's important, I think, as you recognize how sometimes some of us gravitate towards the kitchen, not just to eat, but we like to cook, and not having that skill set passed on. Sometimes it's a great disservice, not just to the continuing sort of cultural practices, but how's that food going to get to the table if nobody's bringing it? Right? So the intergenerational cook-off.
Yeah, it's a really good idea in terms of thinking about all the different persons involved, looking at tourism aspect, culinary aspect in terms of carrying that on as well. So
it's keeping culture too.
Yes.
I'm sure they're going to have some good local dishes.
We should have a sampler there. We, 3 of us could be the samplers, just to make sure.
Well, you never know. Maybe we could put that in and attend.
No, man. I mean, just saying. No, but I think this is why it's important, and we get so caught up with our lives that we don't realize how important. Time passes, how quickly we can lose so much, as you shared. Now, Monday would be the holiday. Any activities scheduled for the Discovery Day holiday?
No, we don't have anything.
We need a reprieve.
We're allowing persons to write.
Yeah.
Get prepared for Tuesday, but I mean, we have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
that's a lot. Yeah, time for a little reprieve and relax. Huh?
Yeah.
Do a little R&R.
Yeah.
What's Susan? Read and refresh. All right. So, as you take us through the calendar, do we need to take a quick break with Susan, or we can keep going? She said, yeah, take a break. She didn't want to hear me no more. I'm going to pause quickly. When we come back, we'll tell them more about the continued calendar for the month of Child Month for me. All right. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
At Powerhouse Gym, where you feel like home in a multicultural energy environment for all. They are dedicated to helping you achieve your fitness goals. Whether you have decided to get in shape, train for a specific sport, boost your energy levels, or even look your best for a special day. With a variety of sports options, group fitness classes, CrossFit outdoor gym, they provide personal trainers and equipment. Powerhouse Gym, King Sports Center, offers a complete health and recreational environment for the only sports and recreational facility of its kind in the Cayman Islands. For more information, call 946-5464. Email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. Powerhouse Gym, King Sports Center. Serious results, period.
Attention accounting service providers. According to the Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorist Financing Regulations, all firms providing accounting services, including but not limited to bookkeeping, payroll, accounts preparation, or tax advice, are required to register with the Cayman Islands Institute of Professional Accountants by the 30th of May. A free lunch and learn workshop will be offered on Friday, the 17th of May. For more information or to sign up for the workshop, please call 749-3360 or email admin@ciipa.ky. For additional information, you can also visit cipa.ky. That's ciipa.ky.
Keeping cool in Cayman is essential, but can be costly. Making small adjustments to your household can lead to big savings and help protect the environment. Keep your blinds, curtains, doors, and windows closed when it's hot outside. Using a fan instead of AC will use less power and can cost a mere third of air conditioning. And when using a fan, rotate it anti-clockwise, which will blow the cool air downward, saving even more energy and money. Visit the Ministry of Commerce, Planning, and Infrastructure's Facebook page for more tips on alternatives to AC and be an energy advocate.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks so much for joining us as we had a chance to share with you, during the month of May, the calendar of activities for Child Month. And in the studio from DCFS, the good company of Kai Matthews and Ms. Tanisha Forsyth. Ladies, thanks very much. And as you were just sharing prior, if people join, not only tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday activities. For some of us, after one day of a full day of activity, we need a month of rest. But you've got a month of activities and no days of rest. Well, Discovery Day.
Yeah.
Maybe as you prepare for the rest of the month. Please continue to share with us as you want.
So on Wednesday, the 22nd of May, we will have a parent session that's been hosted by the Family Resource Center. The theme is Talk Early, Talk Often. That program will be at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. I should add that there will be late dinner provided, as well as childcare provided for children 4 years and older. And that should be a program that gives parents the opportunity to understand that talking about sex and different issues, topics that are uncomfortable, is okay, and it gives you the initiative to tell you when it's good, So we would encourage parents to come out to take part in that program for some information, knowledge regarding that.
And just prior to you, we had Miss Raquel share with us that you're talking about age-appropriate discussion, but how to broach the discussion, how to be able to be not just informed but more comfortable having conversations with our children.
Mm-hmm.
It is, Ms. Clay, not always easy, talking to your children about different things, whether it's about, financial planning, and they're thinking, well, I'm just 5 years old. Well, you're getting 10 cents a week. You just got to start saving. If you don't know how to start a conversation, whatever that topic is, it may be not only uncomfortable, but almost ill-advised, because nobody benefits, conveying, accurate information in an appropriate way, so on. So, talk early, talk often, huh?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, now, with the exception of the wonderful Family Fun Day at the Turtle Center, all your activities for the month of May are free to the families.
Yeah, pretty much, free.
There you go, man. Well, you know what? This is the taxpayers' money and a good corporate and community sponsorship that's coming together to make it that much better.
Yes.
Now, as I look at the calendar, thanks for sharing with me. This is the first month with 31 days I see so many activities. Almost everything is on almost all the time, every day.
Yes.
All right.
We're trying to cater to everybody's needs.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, the idea, I think you've managed to do it quite well, and to focus on our youth specifically, I think is very evident.
Yeah.
As you look at it, what more would you want us to know, not only about the calendar, but about anything in general?
Well, we as social workers, we offer services towards helping families in need, or families who just need guidance. We do a whole different source of services as well. I should say, we are report writers for the court on behalf of the court. We are the eyes and ears of children who are harmed. We specifically, myself and Kai, we are attached to the MASH. So we primarily are the frontliners who deal with the abuse cases, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. So, our role is not just fun. We have a protective role as well. So it's all about the well-being of the children.
That's the thing, our children have to be safe. Hopefully we instill in them a sense of self-respect, respect for others, a great sense of responsibility. But if we're not providing a safe, nurturing place for them in our homes, in our schools, in our communities, then we're failing, as a society. So your job is, as you say, not always fun, but thank you for the energy and the commitment and the dedication.
I was just about to say that, I think I can safely say that we all do this because we love what we do, and we want to ensure that our children are safe and protected. So, we're dedicated, we're committed, we're passionate about, changing lives. So
I know it's not sort of part of our script discussion. Yeah, as we have a script. But I just thought of something, and maybe I'll ask of you, and maybe at some point we'll pick it up. But there are those who would provide this environment, and there are others who would look at it and say, well, you're not just being protective, you're sheltering. And there is to some extent, a fine line, but at some point you have to shelter. Countries provide what they call, incubation, sort of zones for companies to get started so that they can go to their own. We look at nurseries for marine life, an incubation area. There is this thing that, we provide, a shelter to allow the thing to be able to be nurtured and to grow. So we're not just being dismissive of that, but we shouldn't be unwilling to shelter if that's necessary in order to give them the needed protection, right?
I think it's a step-by-step process too, and different stages. So, taking it in strides in terms of how we go about addressing the concerns that we have and the children that we are encountering with, and the parents. So it's educating those parents about that process and helping them to navigate and let go when that time comes.
Yeah, as much as for the parent to let go as for the child to be able to let go. Yeah, whether it's going in from primary school to middle school to high school to university to entering the workplace, there's these almost rites of passage, but this transition in time, right? Ah, boy. Who said it was easy, huh? Maybe it'd be easy to be a cat.
I'm sure the cat has his challenges.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Human beings.
Rocking chairs. No, but as we sort of lightheartedly look at it, just shows how important it is that if we are supposed to be the protectors and the providers, we're supposed to be the responsible, parents and adults and the like. We need to make sure that we're doing all we can, for our next generation, for our upcoming generation.
Yes.
All right. and accessing not only the resources at DCFS, but as you said, in partnership with Safe Family Resource Centre, being able to be upskilled for our children. And now, with all of the sort of continuing activities, anything else you want to share with us on the calendar? I know one is not the month of May, but maybe I won't get it this year. But anyway, we'll talk about that one. But suffice to say, it is sweet.
The cupcake.
Cupcake walk.
Yeah, that would be June 1st.
June the 1st, yeah. I think
that's usually a very good event. So.
Yeah, man. It's amazing to see what they do. And it just shows you that given an objective, given preparation, given the opportunity to be trained, the expectations of our young people sometimes far exceed what we even think they were capable of. And that sort of National Youth Culinary Program in and of itself as a standalone program has had a resounding success.
Yes.
But again, not without a lot of input, a lot of contribution, a lot of partnership. All right. Well, that's June 1st, but we're still in May.
Yes. And just to mention that the National Youth Culinary Program has partnered with us in several of the events that we have on the calendar. So the Poetry Slam, the Intergenerational Cook-Off, the Cupcake Wars. So they have partnered with us for a number of the events.
And they've gone across the divide. We've seen them on Youth Flex. They're recently talking about the Poetry Slam and the like. And you think, whether they're doing something that's that want to promote and preserving the culinary tradition, but having some of the senior youngsters participate in their poetry skills, it's incredible. And reading is, I think, what helps us to really, really appreciate what life is about. Sort of closing thoughts, Miss Forsyth. What would you want to share with our listeners in relation to social work? In relation to the month of May.
To encourage our listeners, to come out and participate and be a part of the events, the activities. As Kai shared, the activity on Saturday, that's a family event. What a better time, to spend some time with the turtles, spend some time in the water, get some nice food, and take in some sun, sand, sea. A little bit of everything is there at the Turtle Center. So we definitely would like parents to, be encouraged and participate. As well as the event on Sunday, participants, will enjoy, seeing the different food, the different types of meals that are being prepared. So it's something to come out and to say, oh, wow, I had the experience to see, this individual prepared such a great meal. And as you asked, maybe we may do some tasting.
I mean, somebody has to. It's a difficult job.
Yeah.
I think I do enough tasting. I need to taste a little less. And Miss Kai, from you, what would you want to share with us?
I just want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share this with our listeners and also, like Tanisha said, to encourage them to actually come out and have a good time. It's the month of May. We're celebrating our children. They've worked hard. Sometimes they give us a little bit of hassle, but, we want to celebrate them and let them know that we appreciate them. So come out, support.
Our children are important. I mean, when you become a parent, you don't realize the great joy, the challenges and the frustration.
Yes.
I know. You look at the parent. But whether the parent is 28 years old or 88, a parent is always a parent. Always worried about the child and calling, make sure they got food, they got home safely. It's unless you're there, you don't know. Yeah. So to those parents out there, you got to take your hats off there. We have a National Parenting Month, maybe. That's a thought. I'm on board. Well, ladies, thank you very much, and to our wider community, it's not just fluff; it's really serious. We need to love on the children. We need to be safe, and we need to be willing to make sure that every activity they engage in, whether it's in church, whether it's in school, whether it's in the community, it could be right across the street. Are we aware of what they're doing? Are we involved? Are we helping in a positive way to make it better? The neighbor may be working extended hours. Can we just keep an eye on the children a little bit longer? Maybe the employers could be a little bit more sensitive and receptive in recognizing that children sometimes have needs that are scheduled and the parent wants to get to the school for the play. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. Well, ladies, thank you very much. And as you, go about the rest of the week, if you're in your cars and you have a minute, I want you to stay tuned to Radio Cayman. From the National Weather Service, Mr. Evelyn Porter is going to be our guest next. And he may not talk about ground penetrating radar, but he may get to share some new technologies with us as part of their public education initiative on a monthly basis. So I'm excited to hear. I was hoping he would tell us about LiDAR, but we'll see. We'll see what he tells us about. He says he may not be handsome, but he has a full beard. So we'll see what he shares. When we come back, we ask you to join us again for more Talk Today.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes. Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore,
How would you like to drive off in a brand new 2019 all-white Mercedes-Benz CLA 250? On Saturday, June 1st at Mango Tree, you could be that lucky person. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents its annual charity fundraising event, Benzorama 2019. That's right, one lucky winner will be announced at the Mango Tree on Saturday, June 1st, and that lucky winner could be you.
If you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
Tickets are $25 each, or 5 tickets for only $100. Proceeds from the funds raised go towards various Lions community projects. Tickets can be purchased online at eventpro.ky, or stop by one of our ticket outlets, including Radio Cayman Studios, Funky Tangs, South Coast Bar, Reflections Food for Less, and West Bay Road SO, or can be purchased from any of our active Lions community members. Benzorama 2019. We are all winners once you support the Lions and our community.
Emma, what do you think of when you hear Toastmasters?
Honestly, I think of people raising glasses and making a toast.
Really? Well, that's far from what we do. Why not come out to our event, Sounds of Expression?
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, it's going to be an awesome evening of intimate poetry, live music, and refreshments. Come out and enjoy a little taste of the diverse talents of our Toastmasters. So, will you be there?
Of course, girl. How can I not? Poetry, live music, food, I won't miss it.
Fantastic. Now don't forget Georgetown Town Hall, May 29th at 6 p.m. Admission only $10.
A Toastmasters fundraising event proudly sponsored by Radio Cayman,
Star 92.7,
Audio Wave,
The Performance Lab,
FunFet,
Acorn Publishing, and Sings Roti Shop.
Sounds of Expressions. Visit Sings Roti Shop for tickets. All proceeds go to our youth leadership program.
See what I'm saying? We're back. I know you all were pining for the show because every time I go out, I keep hearing, when you going to do next show? When you do next show? I like that show, I like that show. So join us for the next. See what I'm saying? I don't know when it is. It's 12:15 to 2:30.
You don't want to miss this unique, informative audience participation, light-hearted show with lots and lots of Cayman jokes, culture, and guests. As we talk about things we say and do, it happening every third Friday on Talk Today.
See what I'm saying is a special feature of Talk Today with contributions from the National Museum, a language, history, and culture show on Radio Cayman 89.9 and 93.9 FM.
Proudly sponsored by Cayman National Bank, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
Headlines.
With the latest headlines.
Headlines.
All the news when you want it. Tune in to Radio Cayman for hourly headlines of the day's top stories.
One of Cayman's bright and shining young stars.
Local, regional, international.
Headlines.
Turning to international news. Updates on the hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. on weekdays. Radio Cayman News.
Headlines.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks so much for joining us. And as we continue our partnership with the National Weather Service, Mr. Avalon Porter joins us. I want to say thank you for coming on, being part of our discussion this afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
All right, well, what did I say, man? Let me fix your mic. Just grab that, put that a little closer to you. How that works.
That's
Is that good, Miss Susan? And just twist it around. She's the boss, right? Just in case you didn't know, in case anybody else is mistaken. Susan is the boss of this place. We'll fix that. Just what she say? I'm the boss of you, Susan. Can't tell everybody that publicly. But I'm grateful for the National Weather Services, continuing public education series we see increasingly more and more people not just having discussions about the weather just to make idle chatter, but actually being involved so that because they're increasingly better informed and not only looking for the weather, it's going to be a good day, can I go on a motorbike for a ride, can I go fishing, but consulting almanacs, consulting different things for whether it's a good time to plant. It's fascinating what and how the weather affects and sometimes dictates our activities.
Yes.
All right. This month, what's the public education topic?
Well, the public education this month is about radar.
Radar.
Yes, and basically how is a tool that we can use to say short-term forecasting. I know or heard that most boat operators use it to track the clouds or the rainfall associated with it as it moves in, so they can make a decision.
All right. So, what is radar?
Well, it stands for radar.
I can't see this too close to me. So you want to swing?
Right. Yes, I'll take that.
Yeah, all right. There we go. And Mr. Evelyn Porter joins us, and I think like the two of us now between us, we got one pair of glasses and not much sight. so we'll see what we can see.
Yeah, radar stands for radio detection and ranging.
All right. And when we look at radar and the use within the Weather Service, how is it utilized? How is it beneficial? Share with us so that we as a public, at least one, can get greater insight, maybe develop a better interest. Maybe there'll be some parents listening, maybe a student or two who potentially may look at meteorology as a potential career.
Okay. Well, mainly what it's used for is basically to track precipitation. So basically, it doesn't detect clouds because the water droplets are too small. So it basically detects rainfall or precipitation, and you can track it, see how fast it's moving. You can also determine the rainfall rate, and with some algorithms, you'll be able to determine how much rainfall has fell in a certain area.
Okay. And as you speak to Mr. Evelyn Porter from the National Weather Service, the idea of the use in radar. Now, do we have, when we look at radar, is it radar within our sort of geographical area? Is it radar that we're using within the region? Where's the information coming from? Where's the radar?
Well, our radar is located up in East End, close to, I think, High Rock area. Kind of installed, I think, back in 2012. It's part of the Caribbean mosaic, and the rationale for ours is that there's radars in Jamaica, there's a radar in Belize, Cuba. To the south, I think there's one in Honduras, Guatemala. So basically, there's a big gap in the Western Caribbean. So we convinced them that, you need to fill this gap. So we got a radar.
So this fills that in that sort of void that was there before.
Yes.
And those who've seen it, maybe whether we're watching, movies, nice military operation, and you see the big ship going out and the radar. When you're looking at a radar screen and the imagery that you're getting, what does that look like? In real life, what you see?
Well, basically, what you're seeing is basically if you go on our website, which is weather.gov.ky,
okay,
you see a radar image there. Basically, that's the same thing we get in the office.
Okay.
Our radar is digital compared to the old one, which was analog, when you could see the sweep moving across the screen. I mean, you might see the guys at the weather channel or TV weather presenters in the States, and you might see a sweep on the radar, but that's an artificial artifact that they just put on there, so it gives people the illusion that is a radar sweep.
I think most things in American television is artificial illusion, but I didn't see that too publicly. I just, no, you know what, I'll have fun today. You wait till 2 o'clock on the headlines. But Mr. Porter, from that perspective, when we look at radar, and I think of different facets, we hear Doppler, echo, and what are some of the? Well, tell us more about it.
The radar we have in Cayman is a Doppler radar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dual polarized, which means the signals are in a horizontal and vertical plane. And being it's Doppler, we can basically get it generates a lot more information.
Mm-hmm.
We can get velocity from it, so you can basically see how track the movement of the precipitation within the cloud.
Okay. What sort of range a radar would have?
We have right now we have it configured for 250 kilometers and 400 kilometers. If you go, say, beyond 400, being the Earth is curved, the radar beam goes out. You might, if you put it, say, 500 kilometers, it'll be maybe about 70,000 to 80,000 feet up in the air. At this stage, we'd have in the clouds, so we basically just keep it to a range that we can basically see the clouds.
All right. And then when we get the information from the radar, how do we use that in order to help us looking at, how do we use it?
Well, we use it for, say, short-term forecasting. Basically, we'll be able to see the movement of rainfall, precipitation in our area, and you can basically track it. If you have a hurricane in our vicinity, we can also use it to determine the wind speed of the clouds, or the wind speed in the hurricane, put it that way.
And Mr. Porter, as you shared earlier, the weather.gov.ky website, we can see the radar. So
yes,
unlike some family, they on it all the time. They love looking at it. I go on it infrequently, but for today, I went and look at it, and you see it there. And depending on the screen you're looking at, it's very clear. It's informative. But if you're not sure what you're looking at, take us through it. If you pick up weather.gov.ky, you looked at the screen and you're seeing this, what are you seeing?
Well, actually, you're seeing...
How do you interpret it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it has different intensities, and there's different shades. I think it starts off from about light green, goes up to about purple or magenta color, which is
pinkish color, like I call it.
Huh?
Kind of pinkish.
Yeah. So that will be the intensity. So you have light, moderate, and severe. Light would be some light, some light rain. I think if we get into the red areas, say 4 to 5 decibels dBZs, you're looking at maybe thunderstorms. I've seen, say, 4 to 5 50s in our area, but if you're in the States, you might see some severe ones, which might end up being hail. So the signal return is kind of proportional to the amount of water droplets within a volume.
So it's the precipitation in the air that we see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And the return you see would basically be the amount of water droplets within the volume, or the size of the water droplets. So, like, we have a heavy rainfall, you'll see pretty strong returns.
All right. Well, when we return from the break, we got Mr. Porter to share more with us. A few more minutes with him. 2 o'clock, right after the headline news, we'll have some open line. We can talk about anything you want. But between now and then, it's good to get an insight into not just our weather radar, but into meteorology. And we appreciate the National Weather Service for its monthly public education topics, and a chance for us to understand, perhaps encourage, and who knows, find some great interest in the importance of our weather. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Headline. Radio Cayman's newsroom. Headline. These are the biggest stories right now.
With speech and language disorders ranking among the most common disabilities in children, parents and caregivers are invited to the Health Services Authority's Speech Therapy Open House this month. Complimentary developmental screenings for children and cognitive linguistic screenings for adults will be provided at the free event on Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Cayman Islands Hospital's Speech Therapy Office with no appointment necessary. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. Legislators in San Francisco have voted to ban the use of facial recognition, the first U.S. city to do so. The emerging technology will not be allowed to be used by local agencies such as the city's transport authority or law enforcement. Additionally, any plans to buy any kind of new surveillance technology must now be approved by city administrators. A school believed to be the first in the world predominantly for transgender children and their siblings opened in Chile last year. It is named after the Mexican transgender politician Amaranta Gomez Regalado, and it caters for children aged between 6 and 17 years. Many of the students dropped out of their previous schools once they began to transition. And if the purpose of art is to elicit a strong reaction, then exhibiting a shipwreck at one of the world's biggest art exhibitions has passed the test. But has it overstepped the boundaries of taste? Well, critics have hit out at the use of the hull of the ship in which hundreds of migrants drowned at the Venice Biennale. The fishing vessel sank on its trip from Libya to Italy in 2015, and at least 700 people, many from Africa, died as a result. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Business owners, managers, and marketers interested in learning how digital and social media marketing can help grow your business? Join Yellow Media Group Monday, May 27th at Yellow Digicon and unleash your company's digital potential. Learn from international digital marketing and social media experts, including speakers from Google and Matchcraft, plus a Fortune 500 digital marketing strategist. Complimentary registration for Yellow Media Group customers. Register now at digiconcayman.com or findyellow.com. Presented by Yellow Media Group in partnership with Google.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio, Mr. Avalon Porter from the National Weather Service. And as we look at radar, the idea that we sort of almost to an extent, when we're listening to the weather report and we hear radar images show, and some of us, we know what we're hearing, some of us, we become just accepting of the information without truly appreciating the significance of it. Some of us, it's raining, that's it. But for people like you who work with it on a daily basis, is it still as fascinating today as it was sort of the first time, maybe the change from analog to digital?
Yes, it is.
All right. Talk to us some more. I mean, the radar, what do you want to share with us?
It's just a pretty good tool that people can use. I mean, if you decide you're going outside, you may look around and wonder if it's raining, you can't see beyond the horizon, but with the radar you can. Mm-hmm. So you'll see, the showers coming in. I mean, it'll give you a good idea for, say 15 minutes or half an hour, short-term planning. Although there's sometimes you look at it and see some showers coming in, then they all dissipate before they reach the island, like what happened this morning.
Mm-hmm. Does the radar images then, I mean, as you shared, it gives you the sort of the rainfall rates, the precipitation and the like. But when you're looking at it, can you gauge the speed? There's a rain offshore that may likely come on shore, and if it does, when it'll get there. Does it give you that sort of information that you can make sort of those calculations?
Yes. I mean, this is not available on our website, but it does provide a feature where it'll give you a track and a projection out to an hour of where the rainfall or precipitation is occurring, where you'd expect to be based on the current wind direction and speed. Or if you want, you can basically manually track it, because if you look on the radar, you got a range rings for the different distances. So you can take the time and then track each one and calculate for yourself how soon it will arrive.
Yeah. And I watched that. I mean, I watched my father, for instance, my brothers, they, out fishing. Or they outside and you watch the clouds moving and the rain and you look at the wind and they seem to know. Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking, okay, yeah, it's nice and cool and it's going to rain a little bit. And they said, no, that rain is drifting off. It's going to be there. People just know.
Well, it's true. But I mean, for those who don't have that innate ability, you can always use a radar and it'll give you the same information.
Now, from that perspective, as you're looking at the rainfall, and we talk about precipitation, the radar gives us the different types. That's intensity, or what is that?
Well, it'll give it intensity. As I say, the different intensity. If you're looking at radar, so you got moderate or slight, moderate, and severe. That give it intensity. That's based on the cloud droplets or the amount of cloud droplets per volume. As I say, if you look at 45, 50, which is the RAID area, that's mostly typically usually with thunderstorms around that with those type of returns.
And then when you're watching the radar, it is a live image, and you're seeing. So maybe you can look outside and say, "Yep, it's definitely raining," and your radar image is showing that. How does that show up as it goes around? The intensity of it will actually register and correlate with what you see in real time.
Yes, but the image is not actually live. It's about a 5-minute delay.
Oh, is that much? I thought it was just okay. So it's a 5-minute delay.
Yeah, because it's there's on the website there are two scans. There's one that's a volume scan, which is a 250 kilometers. Then there's an azimuth scan, which is a 400 kilometers. The 400 kilometer image is usually about a minute old when you see it. The volume scan, it takes about 5 minutes for it to do a complete scan. So it starts at about horizontal, then it goes up to about 19, 20 degrees. And when that is completed, then it generates an image. So usually the image, from by the time you see it, time it starts till when it finishes is about 5 minutes.
So when you send out a pulse and come back, then the return?
No, it's doing a scan of the volume. So it starts at the radar beam starts at the
horizon.
Horizon, and then it is incrementally adjusted to 19 degrees above the horizon.
Wow!
And to do that complete scan at the different angles takes about 5 minutes.
You think about it, I mean, maybe at some point they get it to go faster, but that's still, relatively speaking, a quick return.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it to go faster, but then there's a couple of trade-offs, which is referred to as radar dilemma. So you can get pretty fast scan, but then you would not be able to get the velocity that the radar would calculate based on the returns it gets. So you have to compromise.
Right. Perhaps we live in this world where everything is immediate gratification, a little bit delayed. Certainly isn't that long.
Yeah.
Now, as weather forecasters and meteorologists and as you're utilizing this information and you're thinking of it, if you're tracking it and you say, well, this precipitation is going to be moving in this direction, what would that mean for you from the perspective of as you're doing your forecast? So the radar gives you the ability to know, which direction is going in. You got speed. How would that help us as you're making the forecast? I would imagine if it's coming on shore, if it's going off, if it's a particular fishing tournament and they're going to be rained out higher, they can go into the rain if they want. They can avoid it.
Yes. So if you look at it, you'll see part the heaviest rainfall is occurring. So you'll basically have to track its position, avoid it if you can. But the radar is only tracking what's occurring. You might have some storms move into the area and develop, which the radar would not tell you. Or you might have weather moving in, then it can dissipate before it reach the island. So it just shows you what's happening. So at the office now we'll factor in different factors, to make our prediction. But this is just give you a short-term idea of what's occurring.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Porter, as I listen to you, recognizing that, when we think of the weather and its impact, and whether it's just an opportunity to go out on the weekend, maybe you were looking forward to the long weekend and you want to, do some stuff around the yard. Yeah, what you're going to paint is going to be rainy. Maybe you're going fishing, maybe you're going having the access to the weather.gov itself could give you a perspective as just a regular individual as to what the weather would look like, whether it's going to rain or the like. how? What else? I mean.
Well, I mean, okay, as I said, you can track the weather. I mean, if it's currently raining, you decide, well, I want to do something. You want to figure out how long it's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
You look outside, all you see is rain. But with the radar now, you can see what's occurring behind it. So you might be able to look at the radar and realize, well, okay, it's moving in. It's just over the island. And it'll be out of here in about 5-10 minutes. So you can basically decide, oh, well, I just wait a few minutes and I can continue with my plans.
With that, then, so if you're looking at the radar and you're able to say, well, it's raining, there's expected rain, but it's not going to last very long.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put credence in that? Is that very reliable that this rain may dissipate? Within a half an hour it'll be bright and shiny again. Is that fairly accurate if you're looking at it and you're seeing it? There's a short distance behind it. The rain is coming and it's going to move in and move out.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb, but I mean, it's kind of like depends on the type of weather you're having. If it's the typical Caribbean trade trade winds with the clouds moving across us, you can do that. But if the another weather system that's associated maybe with an upper level trough or some other feature that's generating it, then it might not help you that much, because you have sometimes we have all day rain or showers, which is not caused by weather system moving in and out of our area.
All right. Well, in the studio, Mr. Evelyn Porter, we do have a caller online, sir. If those headsets are not terribly uncomfortable, just put them on as best you can, and we go to our phones. Good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Good afternoon, young man. How are you, sir?
For a young old man, I'm doing pretty good. How you been?
Oh, man, I got accused this morning of being tall and handsome.
Well, people do tend to exaggerate sometimes,
Ooh. So you're saying that's not true then? Okay, fair enough.
I didn't say that. I don't want to burst your bubble. Good afternoon to Mr. Porter, too.
Good afternoon.
I was just driving from one appointment to another, and I was listening intently. And it's a very, very good subject, very educational. But having been a seaman for a long time, the radar was invaluable for seamen too. It's not only the weather. I'm sure you were asking him the questions about the weather, but
yes, sir.
I just thought I'd interject that the radar, I think it was developed sometime in 1935. That's before my and your time, I believe, by some German guy named Heinrich Hertz, I think, and then the Scottish took it over. So Watson Watts or whatever was his name, but it has been developed over the years to the state that Mr. Porter is explaining now. But I remember distinctly in the early 70s at sea, man, especially in the European ports. Like, I remember one time we went into Germany, Emden, Germany, and I tell you, if we didn't have a radar, we would have had more collisions because the fog was so thick you couldn't see a hand in front of you. So it's a very interesting topic, and Mr. Porter seems to be very knowledgeable.
Indeed.
But I just thought I'd interject that, that since 1935 it has helped tremendously for seafaring people.
Yeah.
But me with seafarers, that's my forte,
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you sharing with us, because as if people appreciate and understand, whether you're in aviation or maritime, it has been very instructive. Anything else you want to share with us, Mr. Denniston?
No, I just thought I'd interject that because in hearing him talk about the radar, it brought back those memories. And I mean, the chief minister, he was on the bridge and he was going nuts. He was a Greek guy, and oh my goodness, he was from one end to the next. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I said, sir, you have the radar right here. Next thing I know, the ship passes us that you could almost touch it. So I know it was invaluable. I just thought I'd interject that,
Thank you for doing that, sir. Thank you very much. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you again very soon. And as the caller shared, Mr. Porter, the radar is important. Closing thoughts from you, sir? Thank you so much for your afternoon. But any final thoughts?
No, the radar is available for the general public. They can basically, as I say, log on to our website, and information is there for them to utilize.
Weather.gov.ky.
Yeah, and if they want, they also have the weather app. You can type in CINWS Cayman. You should be able to find the
weather app.
The weather app there also.
All right, the National Weather Service. Supporter, thank you very much, man. I hope to get a chance to chat with you and your colleagues some more, as you help us to be much more intrigued by the weather. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's take a short break. When we come back for the remaining time, there will be some open line. A couple of comments to share with you in relation to the report. Some other things, if I can read them, I'll say them. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
With speech and language disorders ranking among the most common disabilities in children, parents and caregivers are invited to the Health Services Authority's Speech Therapy Open House this month. Complimentary developmental screenings for children and cognitive linguistic screenings for adults will be provided at the free event on Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Cayman Islands Hospital's Speech Therapy Office with no appointment necessary. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. Legislators in San Francisco have voted to ban the use of facial recognition, the first U.S. city to do so. The emerging technology will not be allowed to be used by local agencies such as the city's transport authority or law enforcement. Additionally, any plans to buy any kind of new surveillance technology must now be approved by city administrators. A school believed to be the first in the world predominantly for transgender children and their siblings opened in Chile last year. It is named after the Mexican transgender politician Amaranta Gomez Regalado, and it caters for children aged between 6 and 17 years. Many of the students dropped out of their previous schools once they began to transition. And if the purpose of art is to elicit a strong reaction, then exhibiting a shipwreck at one of the world's biggest art exhibitions has passed the test. But has it overstepped the boundaries of taste? Well, critics have hit out at the use of the hull of the ship in which hundreds of migrants drowned at the Venice Biennale. The fishing vessel sank on its trip from Libya to Italy in 2015, and at least 700 people, many from Africa, died as a result. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us. It is open line. And again, a special thanks to our Cayman National Weather Service for sharing with us as part of their public education topic. It is open line. And want to take your calls? Let's go straight to our phones. Welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you?
Very well, ma'am. I trust that you are doing excellent as well.
Yes, I'm great. I'm good. I'm in the Cayman Islands.
Amen to that. Glad to hear you're doing well.
Yes, Sterling, I don't want to disrespect the gentleman you had in the room there at no point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But to see that Mr. Denson Tibbetts called in regards to what he experienced out there in that water some years ago in regards to navigation and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that he would at least say something to the Mr. Tibbetts in regards, to what he experienced with the navigation and so forth in the waters out there. I thought that was really, really. I don't want to use no wrong word. I just thought that was unbecoming of that gentleman's position, and Mr. Tibbetts calling in and sharing his part of remembering.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman made him remember something, And you think that he would have said something to him, but I didn't call you for that, Sterling.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to stick a pin there. I just thought it was undespicable. Sterling, a couple of days ago, you had some people on there in regards to they're having a gala, and so for the tables, $1,000 in change, and the food, what's that food place called again? Now they feed the
Meals on Wheels?
Meals on Wheels.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sterling. Sterling, I just want, and then also, you had another couple on there a couple days ago in regards to people, not having no electricity here and no water and all that kind of good stuff here in the Cayman Islands. When I say good stuff, it's not really good stuff.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
Sterling, I have my little organization going right now. I'm joined up with the government there, and I got my certificate and so forth and so forth. So I may not talk much about what I'm doing, but I try to help as much as I can. But Sterling, we never had no water problem in the Cayman Islands as a kid that I know of when I was coming up. We always had water. We had the rainwater, and we had the system. We had the well water. We were never short of water in Cayman. I'm 63 years old this year, and I have never heard Cayman having water problem until we got our own water authority and Cayman Water in this island. And Sterling, it is so sad to know that we got people here not having proper drinking water. We had someone came in here and say, well, the system was not good for you and the well water is not good for you. Sterling, I know your grandparents raised up on those two waters, and I know mine did, and I raised up on it. You probably had a little bit. You're probably not as old as I. No, don't tell me your age. Don't tell me your age. I'm not gonna just get you caught up in that. But Sterling, when I think of how our senior citizens are hurting here in this island, especially not having no electricity, they're being cut off because of a problem non-payment situation with Caribbean utilities. Can you imagine having a 70, 80, and 90-year-old in no electricity on such a small island as she probably was brought up with the mosquitoes, no electricity, no running water, and all those things when she was a young child here in the Cayman Islands? Because I know in my days I raised up with not having those things. You understand? And to say that we have come this far in life, and we're having people in such a small little community, a small little island, having electricity problem, water problem, living quarters, food problem. Sterling, this is not good. If we can't look out for our senior citizen people, who can we look out for? I want to say that need assessment in social service, they are helping. And I know there's a lot of people out there that's very healthy that can go and get a job to help themselves. And that help that they're getting from social service need assessment could be going even more to our senior citizens. And where are the senior citizen families? They don't have any family. Well, it falls on the government. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
Because somebody has to take care of them. There was our backbones many, many years ago. Now that they can't work anymore and they're having hardship in the Cayman Islands, I don't think so, Sterling. But I just want to say this afternoon that if we cannot look at our senior citizens and stop handing out to the young generation that are having children after children, and every time they have a child, they run to these departments to get help, and it's being handed to them almost like on a platter because they get help, and then when you look again, they're expecting another child. In these need assessment and social service, do they offer them any family planning? I don't know. I don't really want to know because that's their business. But the fact of the matter is, we are making population, and they're going to just turn around and go back into the system to get help because that's the only way it was raised up in law to say, well, you know what? We never had nothing, so Mama went to need assessment and so forth, and they took care of us. So why should I go get a job when I can go there too and get some help from them when I get 18 years old or 19 years old or whatever the case may be? I'm not here throwing no stones at nobody. But when I see my people in this island hurting, including myself, Sterling, it hurts to the core to know that we have an election every 4 years, and you come and knock on my door and see my living quarters, and you can't make me my top priority as a senior citizen of this island. Let the young people go out and get a job. If they got a job and they can't meet 100%, then I can see need assessment for service helping them. But some of these people sit down home all day, waiting and counting the calendar on a cell phone, internet. No disrespect to them, Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
But my people that is hurting, and I am 63 years old this year, and I know I'm going to fall in that same category, even though I got 2 healthy children.
Right.
You understand?
If I can ask, as I listen to you, I'm wondering to what extent within our society are we looking at what may be happening relative to the changing values or societal norms, perhaps even the demographic. Do you think for some reason that within our communities we no longer have this sense of identity, sense of unity, that maybe some are increasingly alleging that we have people in positions of authority, whether elected, appointed, whether in the private or public sectors, whether it's in the NGOs, in the churches, who are not necessarily looking out for Cayman and the Caymanians, but are pandering to a particular sort of demographic with the view that they're going to change the face and the flavor of the country, as it were.
Sterling, that all that we just summed up to one thing: take care of your people. We were here before, and some of us is still here. Take care of our people in the right manner who is in desperate of need of help. Stop closing the eyes to the situation, because then, Sterling, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick a pin there because
I hear you.
I probably won't have no more job after today.
Well,
Sterling, I just want to say,
yes, ma'am.
I called in a couple of days ago in regard to the West Bay Road that is so neatly repairs, and the eastern and going east need a lot of repair. Now I see them up on the Newlands bypass, which is called the Crichton Boulevard. They're up there cleaning up now as if they're getting ready to make another lane up there. Sterling, that road up there is in pretty good condition. And bringing another lane there, it ain't going to do anything trying to get into Georgetown, because they're going to get bottlenecked at some point in time. Why they can't put some of that effort and money in work on going east and on the 7 Mile? Because apparently they just mark up 7 Mile Road with their markers, so that means that they ain't doing nothing on 7 Mile no time soon. But yet they're up in Newlands now, going to go and try to look, are they going to make a wider soft shoulder, or they're going to make a lane? I'm not sure what they're doing. But there's so many other things in other roads that need to be fixed in this island. We just keep making a blind eye to what we want to make a blind eye to. The only thing that tells me, Sterling, that our 19 members do not drive our streets. They are being taken home every day in a helicopter.
Well, we do know that the government has made its commitment to extending that. We know there was a Parliament's motion relative to addressing the traffic and some of the woes coming and going to the eastern districts. Perhaps it's more to do with the populace not being actively engaged and being prepared to hold those in position accountable, but also being able to contribute. Any closing thoughts you want to share with us?
All I want to say this afternoon:
Mm-hmm.
Take care of our senior citizens. Take care of our people. Our young people got a whole life ahead of them. They're strong and vibrant. Find a job for them one way or the other, and put more emphasis on our senior citizens that are desperate need of sitting in heat, that has no electricity, no proper drinking water, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I just leave it with that, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for sharing with us. And with that, let's pause and take a final break very quickly. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Are you seeking information on the proper process to start constructing your home or development? Do you know how to apply for a building permit and inspection? Are you up to date with current building codes? May is Building Safety Month, and the Department of Planning has a number of events to help you stay up to date with the building and planning process. To learn more about Building Safety Month and the training, information sessions, and demos offered for free to the public, visit planning.ky.
Tourism is estimated to contribute 25 to 30% to our GDP, and 80% of our tourism industry comes from cruise. You do the math. It's time to build the piers and protect our cruise tourism industry into the future.
Looking forward, looking bright.
Learn more and spread the word.
Support our port, support our tourism.
We are Radio Cayman, and this is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time. Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I'm gonna walk them golden stairs, 'cause I know my Jesus answers all my prayers.
Praise time.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Praise time.
There's nothing to go back to. Give me Jesus in the morning. For the God of the mountain is still God in the
Praise time.
Shout with joy to God, all the earth sing glory to His name.
Praise time. Praise time.
Jesus in the morning, yeah.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. Thank you for joining us, and as we appreciate your contributions, certainly appreciate you listening and sharing with us. 949-8837, 949-6990. Share with you that I had a couple of comments in relation to the port, and I'd like to maybe relay them as best as I can. One or two the comments I looked at, and I thought, well, could we read those as they were sent? One was, had words like, well, is the information on the port, the public service, the commercials, the ads, whatever you want to call them, person question, are they propaganda or disinformation? Is it that those for and against seem to, whether the side of the equation that they fall on, seem to be looking at their own perspective? Now, one individual this morning was of the view, as he shared, he is without question, like many of us, want to see the country advance and develop, believe that we need a port, is very much a strong proponent, for the government, believing that, as we go forward, they're probably doing the best that they can. But by the same token, he says, he was questioning, why they made you push. Why are some people saying, well, we've been talking about a port for, as he puts it, and ever. Now, do we just do it to get it done? Or do we do it in the best way? Because at the end of the day, who's going to pay for it? How is it going to impact us going forward? And he shared that something I've heard increasingly from some. Have we really, got the design right? Have we really got the location right? Is the cost, something that we understand is going to be paid for over generations? Is it a cost? I mean, they understand what is actually going to be. But what is your view? Have you been, as some have shared, so engaged in the political discussion that we're not able to see the practical solutions? Now, what he left, sort of me thinking and pondering as he was, sort of relaying his own account of this whole scenario. The expanded area that the port is going to now encompass will have, material impact on the environment. Whether we're going to lose the wrecks and the reef, whether it's going to affect the 7 Mile Beach sand, time will tell. The challenge, he believes, that even if it was the best thing, it's now caught up in such a political, vitriolic tone that we're probably not able to get a very clear and convincing consensus, from the public as a whole. He also shared that as he looked at it, we are probably unwilling to expand the scope and to look at where the port should be, whether the North Sound or whether it be, whether up in the east, whether down by the Turtle Farm, whether we complement, other developments, whether in the Spots area, whether in the Georgetown Harbour, and make it as strategic as possible so that we have many, many viable options. And if we're going to be looking at the next century, certainly beyond, the next few elections, are we getting this right? And the billions that are going to be expended, over the next generations, is it going to be beneficial to them? Are we going to be able to benefit now? Now, the other thing that he shared was of concern. He says, we're going to be building a port. If during the time of construction, what, and how will the cruise ships that come in now, how are they going to be affected? Do we put them in a temporary, sort of landing zone? Are they going to be able to come into the harbor when the construction takes place? And during that time, whether the cruise ships are reduced in numbers, whether they're dispersed in other locations, how will that affect the business? And how would that impact the costs? And what consequence would that have for the environment? He shared that, even in his own little sort of little circle, as it were, he shared that there are those who seem to be so much in favor of it that they don't want to listen to a reason of concern. And then there are those who seem so opposed to it that they're not willing to listen. Well, there are certain merits. Again, he says, have we become so caught up in the political vitriolic debate that we can't see? Go back to what he left me with. It seems, he says, in his mind, just propaganda. Constantly being bombarded with an ad for or an ad against, a comment, proposing it, a comment opposing it. From your perspective, though, as the voter, the taxpayer, as a citizen who's in the sector, as a citizen who is going to be part of the community, where do we stand? 949-8837, 949-6990. Likewise, you can send us your thought on our WhatsApp, 925-3261, or you can, just give us a shout and share your thoughts with us. Now, there are some who've been speculating that there is a proposal to build, a similar facility on the BRAC as well. Now, I think there are many who would share that we need to ensure that in our development for the country, that Grand Cayman as well as the BRAC is included. We do not do something at the expense of the other islands. We do not cause, for instance, the BRAC and its people to be positioned so that strategically the ability to get their foods, whether by air or by ship, and predominantly and presumably it'll be by ship more so than otherwise, that it's not more costly, that it's not a haphazard schedule, that it shouldn't be because of just inclement weather as we see now and the challenges that they have. Could, as one fellow has shared, could the emphasis now be because of their national security, because of their food security, because of the importance of their continued development and prosperity? And just out of respect that there are, our own people, should, as he has shared, the priority be to, ensuring that we have a port on the BRAC that gives them the foodstuffs, the building materials, the goods that they need to sustain and grow the economy. Likewise, he shared it could be serving other purposes, whether bulk transfers or the like. Now, his concern was that as we look at Grand Cayman and continue to focus on it, the tens of or hundreds of millions or even billions that will be expended on the infrastructure, is it going to be that so much is spent here in Grand Cayman and little or nothing or insufficient amounts on Cayman BRAC? Or to sort of alleviate the concerns and to remain in favor with the populace, we put ourselves in greater debt in order to ensure that what should have been a priority on Cayman Brac is now sort of encouraged and more public debt because of the over and perhaps untimed expenditure on Grand Cayman. And now I appreciate the gentleman's perspective, and as he shared, we definitely need to ensure that we have a port that not only we can get the cruise ships in, but we need to get our foodstuffs and the building materials. We certainly need, as he shared, to develop our infrastructure to be able to accommodate, the next 50 years, maybe the next 100 years, without putting the country into significant debt. And he says sometimes when he looks at, some of the information that's available, when he talks to some of the people that supposedly, as they say, in the know, he believes there's still a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of speculation and conjecture. And at the end of the day, when it's done, if we're not here anymore, maybe we physically left the Cayman Islands, maybe we're no longer in the land of the living, where will our children and grandchildren and future generations be? Or will they be in debt with really little or nothing to help them with their development? Or will we have done them, the very best that we can, and they can continue to build on what we left? Well, your thoughts. And as he said, is it more political now, and as opposed to making it something that is going to be for the country's long-term best interests? Your views, 949-6990, 949-8037, or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. And I was grateful for his seemingly, a great attempt to be as objective and as impartial with his view, even though, as he shared, without question, he is a strong proponent for the government and would want, in his mind, to say that from his perspective, they're certainly trying to move the country forward in the best way possible. But as he shared, is the proposal, as the sort of the way the port is being discussed, the information is coming to the fore, is it sufficient? Is it the best that we have? Now, he did share that even when he was, on occasion asking those questions to one or two of his contemporaries, they looked at him as if, well, are you slipping to the other side, as it were? He thought, we need to do as best as we can, as much as we can, for as many as we can, without, getting caught up into the public sort of banter that leads to so much division. Hopefully, as he shared with me, I relayed what his concerns, as he echoed them to me, but maybe we'll get there. I invite you to be a part of it. Hopefully you're being a very constructive part and having your say as much as possible to influence things, not just for your own benefit, but for the long-term greater good of the country and its people. 949-8037 or 949-6990. I want you to join us tomorrow for Talk Today right after the midday news. We're expecting a discussion from a young good friend who hopefully will share with us his views not just on tourism and the tourism sector, but on where perhaps he may see the country going, give us his insight. And with that discussion, perhaps it'll cause you to think much more about your future choices. Stay tuned now. Have Miss Susan share with you some her best selections. And if you have a request, I keep saying, you just call her. You can even hum a few bars if you don't know the title of the artist, and she will tell, without question, what it is and play it for you. Until tomorrow, be blessed.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.